What do you do when your account is Iron 4 with a 21% win rate? What do you do when you're hard stuck and you feel like you're never going to reach your ranked goal? In the next 10 minutes with this profile review we're about to go through, I'm going to be breaking down the 4 big things any player with a win rate below 50% needs to do, and any player who is in bronze, iron, or silver needs to do in order to climb to their rank goals for this season and next season. Now, before we get into this profile review, if you want your profile review just like this, please check out the link in the YouTube description below, as well as if you're interested in the paid coaching solution I talk about towards the end of this video. You can also book a free one-on-one call with me over Discord, and I can show you exactly what a coaching solution would look like for you, your goals, your champion pool, and your needs. Let's get into the profile review. Currently, you are an Iron 4 player. You finished Bronze 1 last season, and your goal is to eventually get to Gold as a first step, and then eventually Challenger. And the biggest issue that's holding you back that you've stated is you take your personal life out and issues on the games, and you've trolled your way to Iron 4. You know you can be better, and you want to prove it to yourself. So this profile review is going to be purely based on what we need to do to get you and any other player who is feeling stuck and who has a really bad win rate and needs to climb to a certain goal because they want to, what they need to do and what they need to focus on in order to get to that rank goal, no matter where it is, no matter how high it is, and no matter how far away they are from it. Let's get into it. So the big 4 things I'm going to be talking about in the next 10 minutes for your profile are your role selection, your champion pool, your build paths and your rune choices, and your laning phase. Because these are the big 4 things that every player in your situation needs to focus on when things aren't going right. And that is really in order of importance. So the first one is role. Right now, I can see you're playing a lot of weird stuff. You're playing Victor jungle, you're playing Viego jungle with Ghost, with Tempo, you're playing Yone jungle. And I'm not sure if this is like you trolled on purpose into Iron 4 just because you wanted to see how low you could get, or you're actually just gotten there through simple like lack of knowledge and not understanding what to do, what is meta, and where champions should be played. So the first thing I would want someone like you to do to get themselves on the right track is to choose a role. It doesn't matter which role you choose. It can be top, it can be jungle, it can mid, it can be support, it can be AD carry. Doesn't matter which one, but choose the one that you enjoy the most and that you think you can have the most success on. And marry those 2 ideas together, and whatever produces the best result from those 2 questions when you ask it about each role, choose that role. And we're going to stick with that for the next 6 to 12 months. Basically the rest of this season and the next season, because the season is now split into 2 6-month periods basically. So for you, as an example, it seems like you've played a lot of jungle. It also seems like you've played a lot of mid. It doesn't really matter, but let's say you want to go with jungle. Cool. We've got your role. Now we need to look at your champion pool. Now, because you don't have many stats on champions and, there's no real significant win rates here that are meaningful, we need to basically build a champion pool from scratch. So what I would do is I would go to a site such as u.gg and I would go to the jungle filter. I would then also filter to bronze, don't filter to iron. And then I would look at the top 15 most played champions. You can do this for any role. So I'm just going with the assumption that you want to choose jungle. But if you wanted to do mid lane, AD carry, top lane support, you would do the exact same process. Look at the top 15 and simply highlight the ones that you would enjoy playing. So let's say it's a Mumu, it's Rammus, and you also want to play Vi. Cool, we've got 3 champions here. And what I would do is I would quickly study their build path. So understanding what the build is and trying to go, okay, well, why would he build Demonic? Okay, he's an AP champion, he has AoE damage, and he needs health because he's a bit of a tank. Demonic makes sense. Yaksho as well is a really good tank item at the moment. It's very strong in the meta. Awesome. And so you look at the build path and you make sense of it. And then you look at the runes and go, yes, these runes make sense. Why do they make sense? Because Amumu can stack Conqueror really easily. Conqueror gives you amplified damage as well as healing, and there is no better rune for Amumu at the moment besides maybe Aftershock, but that's just not the meta at the moment. Cool. Awesome, we've got a champion, and you would do that the same with Rammus, and you do that the same with Vi. And now all of a sudden we've got 3 champions we want to play. So we've got a champion pool. And generally I would actually recommend for someone like you, I would pick one of these 3 champions and choose it based on the thing or the champion you think you're going to enjoy the most and you think you're going to do the best at. So ideally, if you've got a bit of previous experience on the champion, that's the one we want to choose. Now, going into build path and item choices, I basically just explained it. Go to a site such as u.gg, look at the build path that people are going here, and look at the rune choices they're going, and follow that until you get comfortable with that champion and you can feel like you can start exploring different build paths and item choices. But for now, you need to stick with what the meta has decided and determined are the best build paths and rune choices for champions, because at the moment, whether it's on purpose or accidental, you are not choosing the right items or the right runes and keystones to climb in League of Legends. And if your goal is to climb this account to gold, we need to fix those big 3 issues: your champion pool, your champion, the role you play, your champion pool, and your build path and rune choice. Now, once we've got those 3 things all locked and loaded and put away as a strategy, that is the strategy you're going to be doing for the next 6 to 12 months, you now need to look at the biggest issue that holds all new players and low elo players back: their laning phase. The laning phase is arguably one of the hardest, yet most important moments or phases in the game, and it's also the most structured, because during laning phase we are very isolated to an extent compared to mid game and late game. So during laning phase, the game is very orderly. There aren't as many variables and you have a lot of control over how well you do. However, as the game goes into mid and late, you get less and less control. So just like in chess, if you have a bad start to a game, it's going to be really hard for you to win that. And that's the exact same with League of Legends. It's not like basketball where the enemy team scores, it all gets reset, then you score, reset. No, it's like chess. If you lose a piece, you lose it forever. If you go behind in gold, you're gonna have to try and claw that back twice as hard. If you go down 300 gold, to get up to 300 gold positive, you now need to work twice as hard because you need to fill a 600 gold gap rather than a 300 gold gap. So you need to focus on your laning phase. So once you've got your champion pool, the role you're playing, and your build and rune path sorted, you now need to focus on your laning phase. So what are the big things players need to focus on when they have a laning phase issue? And I'm going to show you your laning phase issue. We can see here, on average, you fall behind about 1,300 gold in the top lane. And again, it's only over 18 games, and it seems like you may have trolled these games, or maybe you actually didn't know what you were doing, but we need to fix this. So the biggest things when I'm looking at laning phase and what to improve is your CS per minute, your wave management, your trading, your mana management, and how many times you're dying in laning phase. Those are the big 5 things you need to fix. Awesome. So now we've got a plan for you. We've got a plan for the next 6 to 12 months of exactly what you need to do, Anakin, to climb out of iron, out of bronze, out of silver, and eventually to your initial goal rank of gold. So what do you want to do if you want to accelerate this? So you've heard my advice and you're going, okay, that sounds good, but there's other issues, or I don't know if I can do it on my own. I need help. That is when a paid coach would come in. And for someone like you, you would need monthly coaching sessions. And so something I'd recommend for someone like you is a ranked climbing plan. And basically what that is it's a service we offer. It's a paid coaching solution. And you get a coach such as myself to follow you and to do monthly game reviews with you and break down the biggest things that are currently holding you back from climbing. Not from Iron 4 to gold, but from Iron 4 to Iron 2. From Iron 2 to Silver 4. From Silver 4 to Silver 2. And eventually into gold. Break it down month by month eliminating the biggest weaknesses you have in your gameplay and the things that are holding you back from climbing. We break them down one by one in order of importance and impact through monthly coaching, statistical tracking, and goal setting. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, Anakin, please, once you've watched this, reach out to me on Discord and you can book a free one-on-one call with me. I'll send you the link, book a free one-on-one call, and I can show you exactly what that solution would look like. Look, you've got a long journey ahead. Iron 4 to gold is really tough. It's going to be hard to do it in a season, but it isn't impossible. What it really is up to is whether you're serious about climbing, whether you're ready to do what it takes to get into gold, and whether you're willing to listen to my advice. So cheers, good luck on the Rift, and I hope to talk to you once you've watched this.